Hello, everyone. I am so delighted to be here with Emmi Mutale. She is one of my dearest, oldest, most lovely students. And not only has she been a student of mine, but she is also a master healer, keeper of feminine wisdom, EFT practitioner, matrix re-imprinting practitioner, and all-round fabulous human being who's really helping women come into their power. And I am so excited to have her as one of the guests on my upcoming money party next week. And Emmi is going to be a fabulous, energetic collaborator with helping people release their money blocks through EFT tapping. And if you have no idea what your money blocks are, that's absolutely fine, because that's one of the things we're going to be doing during the money party, discovering and uncovering your money blocks. And if you already know your money blocks, or you've done that kind of work over and over again, let me tell you, it doesn't matter what stage of your finances you're in, there's always the next level to uncover. So come and join us for the money party. It's going to be huge fun. And Emmi, why are you excited about doing your EFT tapping at the money party?
Thank you, Donna. First and foremost, thank you for having me at this party. It's going to be so much fun, and I am so excited to be a part of it. And one thing that makes me so very excited about doing the tapping part is that tapping is such a simple but a hugely powerful way to really get to the root cause as to why we have these certain kinds of blocks or resistance or limiting beliefs that really keep us from receiving the kind of abundance that we truly deserve, and the kind of abundance that makes life just more flowing, easier, and more fun.
Yeah. And so I had tried EFT tapping before many years ago, but it was through you that I was really reintroduced to it. When you did my money program, geez, I think it might have been 2018 or 2017, ages ago now. You did my money program, and then you offered to do a session with all of our Money Magic community around EFT tapping. And that was like a reintroduction for me into the modality. And I really want to thank you, Emmi, because wow, it was actually the catalyst for me of now EFT being one of my most used practices in my own personal development, my own spiritual development, my own money development. Why do you think EFT, well, can you firstly tell people what EFT is if they don't know, like a beginner's guide? And then why do you think it's so effective?
Absolutely. So very briefly, EFT is kind of like energy psychology. And it is, we often call it emotional acupuncture. And that is because when we work with EFT, we stimulate specific acupressure points along the body. Instead of using needles like an acupuncturist would, we use our fingers, and we apply very gentle pressure on specific acupressure points along the body, mainly on the face, but it can also include other points. And it has been, and at the same time as we stimulate these acupressure points, we also repeat certain words and certain statements that relate to the themes that we are working with. And it actually has been scientifically proven that when we use tapping or EFT, it literally calms down the nervous system inside the body. And when the body is calm, when we are not in a state of anxiety or worry or fear, that allows the healing to happen in a much more efficient and quick way. And it also makes it possible for us to release these often incredibly persistent, incredibly deeply ingrained beliefs that we hold on to. And especially around money. Money is a very sensitive, very touchy subject. And
Yeah.
EFT is a wonderful way to very quickly start to uncover and unlearn these blocks and these very persistent beliefs that we often hang on to about money.
Yeah. And so one of the things that I love that you said there was just calming down the nervous system. Because in my working with people for more than a decade, or 14, 15 years with money, one of the things that I keep seeing over and over again is that people are in like panic mode with money, or they're in fight, flight, or freeze. with money. And so often I'm seeing like it's a nervous system issue. They don't even want to look at their money issues. They don't want to even tackle their stuff, because it's just like, oh no, I'm just going to be an ostrich with my head in the sand. And it feels like a survival fight flight response. One of the things that I know about you and your incredible healing work is that you have been doing huge amounts of work with women. And most of the people that I teach around money are women. And I'm wondering what you see in terms of the issues that women have with money. What are some of those things? What are some of those blocks that you were speaking of earlier that you see most often?
Well, one of the deepest core issues around women and money is the fact that within patriarchy, within the narrative of patriarchy, women have been denied the number one, the what is the word that I'm looking for? For hundreds, if not thousands of years,
Access.
we've
Access,
actually
even.
been denied access to money. Money
Yeah.
has been held by men. Money has been in the realm of men, and men have controlled that narrative for hundreds of years, possibly thousands of years. And for us to step into a stage where we actually have been able to say that I have money, I own money, I'm able to use money in the way that I wish to use money, has been a very long road. And in some parts of the world, it absolutely still is. And what I've noticed also in my personal journey, because of the way my parents were, because of the dynamic between my mother and my father, I grew up thinking still in the 70s and 80s, 90s, that it is men who control the money and women have to ask men for money. And I grew up thinking that I would need to be dependent on a man to be able to have money, to be able to use money, and that I would always have to consult a man in terms of how to use that money as well. So that is one of the deepest issues that we women deal with, whether we are conscious of that or not. And
Yeah, I
very
think
often we aren't.
a lot of that goes on the unconscious and then subconscious level. I see that. We've got quite a few people that have joined us live. Hello, hello, if you're joining us live. And if you'd like to ask any questions, or even if you'd like to just pop in, say hello, which city you're in, jump on, tell us that you're here. It's so lovely to have you here live. I'm here with Emmi. She's one of my collaborators at the money party coming up next week. We're having a money party. Woo, woo, woo. Emmi, what have been some of your personal big money blocks that have been like, oh my goodness, shifted this or shifted it a certain amount, but then it came back, shifted it, because that's also what happens with money blocks. And that's also one of the reasons why I find EFT so effective. And using an EFT script so effective, because when that persistent block comes back at the next level, then I'm like able to tap it again. What are some of the blocks that you've shifted through?
I love what you said there about going to a deeper level every time, because that's so very true. At the subconscious or unconscious level, we just keep finding like new layers of that onion and keep peeling that back. And EFT is super, super powerful with that. One of my biggest blocks was the idea that money is dirty. Because when I was small, my mom used to always tell us if we had touched coins or paper money, go wash your hands. Money is dirty. So why would I want to hold on to money if money is dirty? Why would I want to gain access to money or accumulate money when I subconsciously believe that money is dirty? So that was one of the bigger ones that I've been dealing with over the years and finding deeper layers of that as well. Another one, a real biggie for me, has been that wealthy people are either fraudulent, so they have committed some sort of crimes or some sort of unfair or unjust ways of accumulating that wealth, or they are just not very nice people, that they are,
I
that
see
they
that
are.
so often. This
Yeah.
comes up so often, like wealthy people are greedy, wealthy people are selfish, wealthy people are arrogant, wealthy people are assholes. Like it can even go as high as that. Wealthy people are not happy. And so why would you want to be wealthy, right? If you've got that belief going on under the surface.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And because so much of it is subconscious or unconscious, it can really come to you as a surprise, like, wow, I didn't realize I was holding on to that kind of a belief underneath all of this. But no wonder. No wonder the money hasn't been coming through, or no wonder I make money, but I lose it right away because I don't want to be associated with greed, or I don't want to be associated with fraud. I don't want to be associated with being a cold person who just simply holds on to the money like a miser. So
Yeah.
it's when you start to uncover these really, really intriguing connections, it actually becomes a lot of fun. It becomes like this detective work, and you really get to have a lot of fun with yourself, understanding at a deeper level where are these beliefs coming from. And when you work with tapping, with EFT, you can really quickly start to bring up memories that you didn't even realize you had in your subconscious. And when those memories start popping up, often from early on in childhood, around certain experiences or events when these kind of money beliefs started to take hold, it you really start to go very deep, and you get to unravel those root causes, and you really get to shift those beliefs at a really deep core level, and very quickly as well with tapping.
And so I'm curious to know what your wealthy people belief has shifted into. So it was like wealthy people are fraudulent, wealthy people are what is it? What is it now?
Well, now I look at wealthy people as these beautiful beings who have an opportunity to make a massive difference in the world through their wealth,
Yeah.
and people who very often share very openly, very warmly from that wealth. Obviously, there are different kind of wealthy, rich people out there as well, but I no longer pay attention to them. My focus is on wealthy people who really radiate and shine this light of ease and grace because their money worries are no longer there. And they can really truly focus on what is important to them. And very often that has to do with helping people or helping the planet or helping animals. And I'm choosing to surround myself with people who that have that kind of radiance, that kind of energy and vibration about them.
Yeah. So we've talked a little bit about money beliefs and your money thoughts, but one of the other things that I love about EFT is also at the level of emotion. And having worked with people and women and their money for years, one of the things that always is so deeply fascinating to me is how much of the shadow emotions sit in the area of money for people. How much of the unconscious, so guilt, shame, upset, anger, frustration,
Rage. I'll throw rage in
rage,
there as well.
rage. Okay, and one of the things that I love about EFT, and one of the reasons why we actually have having this money party, is to not just create some mental shift, but really to create the emotional shift for people. Because I know that when you shift yourself emotionally with money, then the practical things that you need to do with money, that we all know that what we need to do with money, start to happen. So getting out of debt, saving, investing, doing your monthly management of money, all of those things you're not doing because you're in emotional stress with money or negative emotions with money, or you've got some money beliefs running you. So share with us a little bit about how EFT shifts at a level of emotion, because that for me has been the biggest thing about EFT.
Yeah. For me, EFT is the fastest way to shift your vibration. Let's say from fear based emotion to feeling elation, or at least feeling calm. And it can really work, let's say within a few minutes. You can absolutely change the way you feel and your emotional state from anxiety or worry into a sense of hope, into a sense of excitement, in from apprehension into anticipation. And it really blows my mind every time this happens. And I use tapping pretty much on a daily basis. And if I wake up feeling anxious, because that is part of my, almost like part of the way I've been made up. I do carry a lot of anxiety in my being, but people don't know that because I've learned to regulate it so well. And tapping is one of the most powerful ways to do that. So every morning, if I wake up with even a tiny bit of anxiety, I immediately tap. And it sometimes takes 2 minutes, sometimes it takes 5 minutes. And if I'm dealing with a deeper underlying root cause of that anxiety, it can take a little bit longer. But in the course of that morning, I have completely shifted from that anxiety into a sense of happiness or joy or contentment with my life and the way things are.
That's fantastic. And money is so anxiety producing for most people. And even if you're feeling calm about money, something can happen in your reality that like instantaneously triggers you back into anxiety, because it's at such a survival level, money. Like it really connects with us at a root chakra survival level. So Emmi, you did my Money Magic program, as I said, a number of years ago. I can't remember whether it was 2017 or 2018. And 2018?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And what were the biggest kind of realizations or ahas for you? What were some of the biggest shifts for you out of that process?
I think one of the biggest ones was how quickly you can actually shift your beliefs around money and how quickly you can actually start to shift your own circumstances with money. And for me, some of the tools that you were sharing in that program really brought in this sense of magic and almost miracles into my life as well. And situations that might have felt quite hopeless really started to shift very quickly into something where you could see the light at the end of the tunnel, or you actually were on the other side of it. So that for me was absolutely mind blowing.
And you're going to be participating with us at the money party. So it's not just you, you're not just going to be collaborating, you're also going to be dancing. And because we're going to be dancing away our money mistakes, we're going to be dancing to release, we're going to be dancing to connect into the good vibes, we're going to be dancing to celebrate. We've got a Lakshmi ceremony happening on the day 3. And I'm sure as someone who supports women, you know all about Lakshmi, the goddess, the wonderful goddess of abundance. Why should people be coming to the money party?
Oh my goodness me. How long do we have, Donna? Yeah, well, essentially, if you are wanting to shift your relationship to money, and if you're wanting to be in a state of flow, in a state of grace, in a state of ease around money, and really shift some of those deep ingrained beliefs about money, then this party is going to be the perfect place for you to be part of. And it really will just absolutely lift your vibration. You're going to walk out of this party every single day feeling like a completely different person and really excited about the future. I am absolutely confident about that.
Emmi, thank you so much for playing with me, for saying, yes, of course, I'd love to be one of your collaborators. I'm delighted to have you. Emmi is going to be on day 1. Day 1 is relaxing and releasing. So we're going to be discovering some of your money blocks. Emmi's going to be releasing those. We're also going to be releasing them with dance. We're also going to have subliminal reprogramming, music tunes happening, plus prizes, plus fancy dress. And here's the good news. The party's happening online. It's on Zoom. So if you're seeing me with the crazy hats and the earrings and things, and you are a little bit more introverted and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can, I'd like all of the benefits that happen from this money party, but I'm not sure that I can get into the wildness of it. It's okay, because we're on Zoom. You're able to sit back as an introvert and just watch all of the extroverts go crazy on the dance floor, and you could be a wallflower just taking in the good vibes and still getting massive benefit. So whether you're an extrovert, wild party animal, or whether you're an introvert and want to have the money shifts, please join us. Emmi, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you so much for your collaboration. And we'll be with you and you'll be with us next Tuesday. All the details about the money party are on my website, also on all of my social media. Go and look in my bio. So looking forward to having you all there. Bye.